To the woman who prays in silence, who sits down for dinner by herself, who smiles for the world but lets her tears fall in the quiet of her room, know this: God sees you. In every whispered prayer and every solitary moment, He recognizes the depth of your heart. While the world may cast you aside or label you as incomplete, heaven sees you as extraordinary, uniquely created, and set apart for a divine purpose. Your solitude is not a mark of neglect, but a sacred season where God builds you up, molding your spirit with gentle care and infinite love. Even when you feel invisible, God's eyes are fixed on you, cherishing every sigh, every silent plea, and every moment of honest vulnerability. In His presence, the lonely become cherished daughters, destined for a grace that surpasses earthly understanding. If this message resonates with you, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Because your voice matters and you deserve to know that you are seen and valued. And don't forget to share this message with someone you know who might need this reminder today. Stay with us until the end of this video, for a heartfelt surprise awaits you, a message of hope and an invitation to experience God's boundless love in a way that might just transform your life. Remember, you are never truly alone when you walk with God. Imagine for a moment a woman sitting quietly in a corner of the temple. Her lips are moving, but no sound comes out. Tears stream down her face, and no one stops to ask why. She looks invisible, weak, embarrassed. But heaven sees her. Heaven hears every unspoken word. This is Hannah. She had no child, no comfort, no celebration around her. And yet, in that hidden place of pain, God met her. Not only did He give her a child, but He gave her Samuel, one of the greatest prophets in Israel's history. Why? Because God responds to the heart that cries when no one else is watching. The scriptures are full of stories like hers, quiet, tender moments when the world looked away, but God leaned in. Mary, a young woman from Nazareth, engaged but not yet married, receives a divine visitor in the stillness of her room. No one was with her, no status, no applause, just solitude and purity of heart. And what did God choose her for? To carry the Savior of the world, not because she had a platform, but because she had a posture of surrender. Then there's the Samaritan woman, a woman shunned by her own people. She comes to draw water at noon, not when others come, but when the heat drives everyone else away. She's tired of the judgment. She's tired of being misunderstood. But Jesus meets her there, on purpose. He speaks to her with dignity. He reveals Himself to her before even revealing His identity to His own disciples. She becomes the first evangelist in the New Testament. These stories echo across time for a reason. They're not just history, they're mirrors, reflections of what God continues to do today. The world overlooks the quiet woman, the single mother, the unseen worshiper, the intercessor in the back row, the one who isn't invited, who isn't applauded, who isn't trending. But God is not looking for public approval before He moves. He is not waiting for your life to look put together before He steps in. He looks for surrender. He finds value in what others dismiss. And the place where no one else thinks anything could happen, that's often where He starts His greatest works. So if you find yourself alone, unnoticed, or overlooked, take heart. You're in excellent company. The very women who helped shape history, who carried fire, truth, and life, were often found in obscurity. And that's where God met them. Because heaven is not interested in spotlight. Heaven responds to stillness, to humility, to faith that whispers yes when no one is listening. It was never about the crowd. It's always been about the heart. So don't minimize your tears. Don't belittle your waiting. Don't believe the lie that says nothing is happening. If your life feels quiet right now, know this: God may be doing His loudest work in the silence. You're not invisible. You're not forgotten. You're not disqualified. You're the kind of woman heaven moves for. Stay here a little longer. The next part will show you exactly why your hidden season holds more power than you've ever imagined. The house is still. You can hear the soft hum of silence, the clock ticking, a car passing in the distance, the breath in your chest. No one calls, no one texts, no one knocks. You sit with a cup of tea that's gone cold, wondering if God still writes stories with women like you in mind. Women who pray but get no answer. Women who love deeply but are rarely loved back. Women who lie down at night and feel the heaviness of their own heartbeat echoing in the room. And yet, that quiet, that silence, that solitude, it is sacred. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not cast aside. You are being carved out for something eternal. In the world's eyes, loneliness is a problem, a thing to fix. An empty seat at a table, a phone that doesn't ring, a status that seems to scream, "You're behind." But in the kingdom of heaven, solitude is a tool, a sanctuary. It is the holy space where distractions are stripped and the voice of God begins to rise above the noise. That room you think is too quiet, He calls it holy ground. That stillness you fear, He fills it with whispers that awaken your soul. God does not waste a moment, not even this one. He allows this quiet not to punish you, but to draw you closer, to slow your feet, to still your mind, to soften your heart. You are not abandoned. You are being prepared. There are things God cannot teach in a crowd. There are truths that do not echo in busy places. There is oil that only flows when no one is watching. And maybe that's you right now, hidden, not highlighted, not applauded, not chosen. But oh, how He sees you. Not the version of you you try to present, the real you, the aching you, the faithful, tired, wondering you. And in that sacred isolation, He is doing what no relationship, no platform, no applause ever could. He is teaching you to breathe again, not for the world, but for Him. He is removing the crutches, the masks, the noise, and He is planting something unshakable in you, a faith not built on someone else's presence, a joy not dependent on human connection, a peace that does not disappear when the room empties. He is forming a woman who knows Him in the stillness, who walks with Him in the absence, who trusts Him when there's no external evidence. This kind of faith can't be shaken because it's been built in secret. It's survived the quiet. It's worshiped in the dark. It's heard His voice in the empty space. And when the world finally sees you again, they won't recognize you because the woman who went in alone will emerge filled with fire. Stay where He has placed you. Let Him finish what He started in the silence. Because this is not the end of your story. It's the foundation of something eternal. You don't have a wedding album on your shelf. There are no anniversary dinners, no shared Sunday mornings, no ring glinting on your hand. But your life, it's full of invisible harvests, full of fruit that heaven never misses. The world may never applaud you for the prayers you whispered when your heart was breaking, or the tears you cried in the middle of the night for someone else's freedom, or the quiet yes you gave to God when it cost you everything. But God saw. He sees. You may not be building a home with a spouse right now, but you're building something in the spirit, a foundation no storm can tear down, a lineage of obedience that will outlast time. Every time you turn off the noise to sit with the Word, you are sowing. Every time you say, "Not my will, but yours," you are watering. Every time you worship when no one is watching, the roots go deeper. And here's the thing. Just because others don't see your fruit doesn't mean it isn't growing. Heaven is filled with unseen gardens, with fields of faith, compassion, intercession, and perseverance, planted in silence and harvested in glory. You are bearing fruit, holy, fragrant, eternal. Don't let culture convince you otherwise. Don't let your singleness be a filter that distorts your worth. The world says, marriage proves value, motherhood proves purpose, attention proves beauty. But God says, obedience proves love. Faithfulness reveals strength. Worship reflects glory. God's scale is not human. He doesn't measure your value by who you hold hands with. He measures it by who you surrender to, and you've chosen Him. That counts. That counts more than likes, titles, or timelines. Because in His kingdom, fruit is not flashy, it's faithful, and you've been faithful. Maybe you've mothered others with your prayers. Maybe you've mentored without a platform. Maybe you've carried burdens that weren't yours, just because you felt the Spirit nudge you. Maybe your knees are calloused from hours on the floor, interceding for people who will never know your name. That is fruit. That is the fragrance of a life laid down for God, and it is not wasted. In John 15, Jesus says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." You were chosen to bear what lasts, not what trends. So if you're wondering whether you matter in the grand story of God, if you're questioning whether your hidden life has weight, if you've ever said, "Lord, does any of this even count?" let this be your answer. Yes, it counts. It echoes in eternity. Heaven hears it, hell fears it, and God remembers it. Don't stop. Don't measure your garden by the world's expectations, because what you're cultivating now, though invisible to others, is sacred. One day what you planted in tears will bloom in someone else's freedom. One day what you offered in secret will shine like the morning sun. And on that day, the Father will look at you and say, "Well done, my daughter. You bore fruit when no one was watching, but I was." You keep hearing the same message. Wait. Wait for the right moment. Wait for the right person. Wait for your turn. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that maybe you're not ready, or worse, maybe you're not worthy. But heaven disagrees. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are chosen. Chosen before time began. Chosen before any ring touched your finger, before any voice affirmed your name, before any title gave you worth. You are chosen, not because of what you've done, but because of who God is. He saw you when you were still forming in the secret place. He looked at your unshaped days and whispered, "This one is mine. This one will carry my peace. This one will reflect my son." Not in the spotlight, not after the crowd arrives, not when your life looks complete from the outside, but now, right now, in the quiet, in the questions, in the still not yet. You've been appointed to carry his presence into rooms where no one else sees him, to bring calm into environments charged with anxiety, to walk into storms with a stillness that doesn't come from people, but from the one who speaks peace to waves. You are not just holding faith, you are becoming faith in motion, a walking testimony, a vessel in progress, a temple filled with quiet glory. You may not feel remarkable. You may feel small, hidden, unsure, but the Spirit within you is not confused about who you are. He calls you beloved. He calls you daughter. He calls you light in the shadows, anchor in the drift, voice in the silence, chosen. And the beauty of God's choosing is this: it doesn't depend on human timelines. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not waiting for life to begin. You're in the center of it. Preparation is not delay, it's design. God is not holding you back. He is building you up. What feels like pause is actually precision. He's aligning you with something deeper than desire, destiny. You weren't made to blend in with everyone else. You weren't created to run someone else's race. You were formed to walk the path God laid for you, and it may not look like anyone else's. That's the power of being chosen. You don't have to rush. You don't have to compete. You don't even have to be seen by the world to be used by heaven. Some of God's most powerful vessels were unseen, uninvited, and uncelebrated until the moment he said, "Now." So breathe, lift your head. Your life is not on hold. You are not in waiting. You are in becoming. You are being shaped, set apart, and sealed with a calling no one can take from you. God isn't preparing you to be chosen later. He's preparing you because you are already chosen now. So walk like it, pray like it, worship like it. Let this truth take root in you. You are not less than. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are chosen even now. So tonight, don't sit in that silence asking, "Why am I still alone?" That question has worn out your soul. It's led you down too many dark hallways with no answers. It whispers lies that sound like truth, that you've been forgotten, overlooked, passed by. But what if the real question was never about why you are alone, but what God is doing in that very space? What if the question became, "Lord, what are you forming in me here? What are you teaching me in the absence of noise? What strength are you building in the quiet of my days? What calling are you shaping when no one else is looking?" Because the God who created galaxies does not waste wilderness. He does not ignore tears. He does not overlook hearts that surrender. He answers. Always. Not always with lightning, not always with immediate change, but always with presence, with nearness, with clarity that comes softly, but surely. And if you still your heart tonight, just for a moment, you may hear it, the whisper of heaven reminding you, you are not alone. You've never been alone. The world may not see it. Your phone may stay quiet. Your room may feel still, but he has been here. Through every silent dinner, every tear-soaked pillow, every time you said, I'm fine when you weren't. He walks with you, not because you're perfect, but because you're his, because he delights in walking with those the world forgets, because he sees what others miss, your faithfulness, your gentleness, your quiet courage to keep going. If this message has reached something deep in you, not just your thoughts, but your spirit, then let it breathe. Don't rush away. Don't scroll past the presence of God. Let your soul respond. Go to the comments and write, God sees me, even in my solitude. Write it as a declaration. Write it as a step of faith. Write it for the version of you who once believed no one ever could. And if you haven't yet, take a moment to subscribe to this space. This is more than a channel. It's a place of restoration, a small sanctuary in your week where the noise fades and the word of God rises. Eternal Source was created for souls like yours, for the ones navigating life without applause, for the ones searching for peace that doesn't fade when the screen goes dark, for those who need reminders, not just of truth, but of presence. Each week, you'll find gentle wisdom, verses to anchor your spirit, and messages like this, meant not to impress, but to draw you closer to the one who calls you his. God is not waiting for you to be stronger. He's not demanding that you figure it all out. He's simply asking, will you let me be enough right here? Will you let me walk with you, not when the season changes, but now while the world is still quiet, while your heart still aches, while the story is still being written? He works through you even now. He delights in you, not the future, polished version of you, but this version, tearful, open, trying, hopeful. So rest, not because everything is perfect, but because he is present. Rest in his faithfulness, rest in his timing, rest in his love that doesn't change with your status. Stay rooted in him. Stay rooted in the truth that he sees, he chooses, he calls, and he will complete the work he began in you. Stay rooted in the eternal source.